open up with the most uttereth of Hebrew, Hebraic, is lighteth it, and light. Brother, kinsman, according to thy flesh.
Yeah, you definitely can read Hebrew like you can actually.
This brother Hebrew is.
You can read like you can.
Hey, all praise to the Most High, but this brother Hebrew is like top tier. Him and somebody. But he was we was that Feast of Dedications?
Yeah, the way you read it is.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. I was like listening to you, and I was getting chills. Like, bro, I need to step out. Hey,
Come on.
No. I want you to open up. Oh, fine. I'm just saying with the most other.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
We are the Hebrew Israelites coming out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked ass kingdom. All right, spiritual Egypt, modern day Babylon. All right, aka America. 3 A's and 2 K's. They tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans should not niggas, spicks, and wetbacks, but God's chosen people that the Bible speaks of. All right. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Baharakak Badash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, who teach and rule well, and peace and salutation to the whole four elect. Shalom.
Shalom. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to, a couple topics I wanted to get into, but I also want to just get into. First thing we're going to start off with this new concept of black privilege. If you go on the TikTok, YouTube, Shalom. If you go onto the rabbit hole of TikTok, there's a new concept called black privilege, right? And they're basically saying it's like a super reverse racism. I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's a new movement of so-called white people basically complaining about that black people have so much privilege, and they call it black privilege now. That their entire society, 13% of the population is supposed to be us, and we're ruining everything because of our black privilege, and we get away with murder and all these other things because of black privilege. And it was the most asinine, dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And they were passionate. You can watch these videos, and they literally were talking about like I'm talking to y'all right now. They're on camera. Yeah, man, you know I'm just tired of black privilege. And all this stuff. Yeah, so the same way how we would say that white people have white privilege because this is their society, their rules, their customs, their language, their culture, and everything that they've created systematically has all been geared toward to oppress a certain group of people or demographics so they can stay in power. When someone says white privilege, you can understand what they're talking about. But there's a new narrative where there's white people who are obviously not as educated as the rest. And they're saying that there's a new term called black privilege. And black privilege is basically saying that we're 13% of the population that basically generate most of the crime and most of the fuckery that happens in America, and we're the reason why America's being brought down low. Now, mind you, another reason why I wanted to bring this out, because if this is a new narrative that so-called white people feel, just think about the Trump administration and think about the trajectory of this ideology. Right? We know in the scriptures it says that they show that there's going to be race wars, riots, and all nations will run into their own lands and be with their own people. It also says there's going to be a great insurrection on those that fear the Lord, who we also know are the Hebrew Israelites, according to the scriptures, who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So if you can wrap your head around it, this ideology is basically saying that we are the reason why America is not great anymore. The only time America was great is what they're saying is when we were in captivity, in slavery. That was the greatest time in their history.
I mean, if you want to be technical, it was based on what you can prosperity and how much money you can make. Yeah, that's why our kingdom is going to be so great too, because we're going to have y'all in captivity. Y'all going to build up our kingdom. Looking up black privilege from like a...
No, just go on TikTok, type in black privilege.
Bro, black privilege doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
It's not real.
Well, no. It does exist. It does exist because there's a scripture that says, what benefit does it you have? Right? That's our privilege. The privilege to be able to repent.
No, it says black privilege is being allowed to act in any manner that one sees fit without effective criticism. That sounds white. That sounds like white privilege.
No, bro, read it out loud again.
It says black privilege is being allowed to act in any manner that one sees fit without effective criticism.
So basically what they believe is that we're 13% of the population. We create all the drama and issues that the country actually has, right? And then they say because of what happened in slavery and because of guilt of America, we are allowed to act any way we want without any kind of retaliation or persecution, right? This is what they're calling black privilege. It also went into the saying that we were the biggest criminals and so far and so on. But that is not true, because if you look at the statistics of all the crimes in America, the most dangerous person on the planet is a white male. And to make it even crazier, an angry white male that feels like he's losing his power. Because one thing about them, they create all the wars, they pollute the earth, the water, they control everything, right? So, mind you, in any organization, right, you're only as strong as what? Your coach, your CEO, your owner, right? Your leader, right? Now, who's the leader of the free world? So-called white man, right? So for now, these white men are now talking about black privilege and saying that we are ruining everything for them. Why do they feel that way? They feel that way because of the future prophecies. They feel that way because they see the writing on the wall that their kingdom is coming to an end. They feel the change in the narrative. They're realizing that black people are being bold now. Because before, remember, you couldn't look a white man or a white woman in their face. They used to, man, don't look them in his eye. Now you got these young niggas out here, right, looking at so-called white people straight in their face like, yo, who the fuck do you think you are? I beat you the fuck up. Excuse my language, but I'm giving perspective here. I don't know I don't know any so-called black men or Hispanic men that are scared of white people. Don't know any, right? I don't know any person that'll sit here and shy away from 4 or 5, or maybe one. Mind you, there's a video a couple months ago where the one black guy was outside the club, right, and there was nothing but Edomites around him, right, and one of the he was arguing, the one black guy, he was calm, he got it on video, he's calm talking to some white girl, he's calm talking to a white girl, and he's obviously having a disagreement with somebody. A couple of white guys get in his face, and you can see that he was nonviolent. Black guy goes, all right man, you see him put his hands up and he starts walking down the street. Some white guy comes behind him and tries to sneak him, hits him, and then boom, he gets out of it, he starts fighting. He wound up beating the white boy up so bad that the white boy dies. They locked the black boy up talking about, committed murder. Did y'all not see the video of him walking and then he tried to sneak him? So is that not self-defense? Right? So this is what I mean by
manslaughter.
Exactly. You could say manslaughter, but it wasn't murder. But back in the day, our people wouldn't have done that. They probably would have took the beating and got back into their neighborhood because it would have got worse. Our people are not scared anymore. If anything, these YNs these days ready to play for keeps with anybody, right?
Anybody. Old, young, male, female,
infant, they not playing right now. So I'm giving perspective here. But I need everyone to understand that this new concept, and mind you, you can go on TikTok, and I'm gonna go on TikTok right now as we speak, and I'm gonna type in.
And as you find out, just to make it similar, I saw a little Drewski, funny little skit of these 4 young bulls. They probably had to be like 15, 16. One of the young bulls was named Killer, and then another young bull was named Murder. Another one was named Lester or whatever. They said, "What are your talents?" And Drewski said, "What are your talents?" And the young bull Killer was like going like this. And Drewski was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" He said, "Yeah, that's me standing over him." So that's like the thing, is to shoot the dude, stand over him, and finish him off with a bunch of little shells. It's fucking crazy.
So I just typed in black privilege, right, in TikTok, and all these videos come out. Even Myron from that one podcast, Myron exposes the harsh truth behind black privilege. But we know this man don't like black people at all, right? He wants to say the N-word, and he a sand nigga. If you want to be,
Is he like Elon or something?
Yeah, he like Elon
or Ishmael, one of the two. But he literally professes that he hates black women, and he always talking bad about black people all the time, right? But everything in his entire existence is acting and trying to be like us. That's the same narrative that most of these people have. They have hate towards us, but they want to be us, right? So even he is sitting here talking about black privilege, right? And you can keep going.
Was he on Piers Morgan or something like that?
Yep. Right here. Black people have privilege over whites. Piers Morgan confronts a lady. See, look, now there's a narrative that we have more privileges than him. This entire society and nation is based on your comfortability, right? We have to conform to your spaces. We have to change up who we are for your spaces. we have to sit here and speak differently around your spaces. We got to present ourselves differently in your spaces. Everything is geared towards making you feel good. Now, all of a sudden, just because so-called black people are now like, well, I don't give a fuck how you feel, I don't care about your space. Now their new narrative is, oh, they can act however they want, and there's no repercussions for it. No, what it is no longer being a chameleon. No longer putting on that white face. Now, a lot of our people act ignorant? They think that being black means to act ignorant. We do have people like that. They're deplorables, right? The 2/3, right? But the average so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man isn't in the streets, isn't in gangs, isn't out here shooting, isn't out here being degenerates, isn't out here committing theft. Most of us, maybe 90% of us are not doing any of that. But y'all sit here and create this narrative that we are the criminals based on a small percentage of the small percentage, right? And then when you actually look at the studies per capita, who commits the most crimes? White people. Who commits the most?
Yep. That's thorough.
Yep. White people.
Psychotic.
Yep. Psychotic. Yep. Exactly.
That's the spirit.
You're right, sis.
That was the spirit.
Look,
right
the
there.
spirit.
He
Right?
said it before you.
Yep. White people. Who commits the most crimes? They do. Who commits the most? Who has the most deaths because of opioids? White people. Who has the most domestic violence crimes? White people. Who shoots up more schools and mass shootings? White people. Matter of fact, who starts all the wars? White people. Who kills the most people in general in the world since their inception of power thousands of years ago? White people. Who's imposed imperialism all over the planet? Who has more military bases all over the world than any other culture? White people. So for them to sit here and create a narrative that we are the wicked and that we are the people that's holding this country back, the truth is this. The scripture says when the wicked are in rule, the people what? Mourn. But when the righteous are in rule, the people will rejoice.
Esau oppressed their own people.
Esau would impress their own people over their God, which is money. They don't care about each other, right? Who taught our people wickedness? Who put our people into the... Now, mind you, this is the problem about people not understanding the root cause of everything. You're judging the reaction to the root cause, right? Perfect example. I'm going to use this. There's a high rate of crime in the projects in places that are impoverished without jobs and schools, right? Who are pushed into these neighborhoods? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So when you have no way to take care of your family, no way to feed yourself or your loved ones, what are you going to do? You're going to resort to doing something that will help you get to that point where you can provide. A lot of these drug dealers ain't only doing it because of what? They need money to do what? Take care of their families.
Not all drug dealers are like really into crime. A lot of times they just have to do crime to maintain what's theirs.
Now, mind you, we'll take it back to the early what? What was that? Before the Queen Victorian age, 1837 to 1901, early 1900s, right? Look at the state of New York City when they were just boroughs, right? Where was all the crime? You all seen the movie Gangs of New York, right? Who was fighting? The Irish and Italians. Those who believed they were true bloods of America and those who were what? Coming over on boats. Weren't they all fighting each other? Why were they fighting each other? Because of lack of what? Resources, jobs, right? So they had to conform to crimes to be able to keep up with the status quo. And then how did the government fix that? The government gave who? The government gave the police system, the policing to the Irish, and it gave the Italians the firefighters. That stopped so much crime in New York because they created unions for them to stop them from fighting and killing each other. That's what happened. They was doing the same thing they say we doing. And mind you, they owned everything and they still do it. The scariest person on the planet is an angry white man that's mad because he's losing his power. What does he go do? Shoot up schools, mass incarceration, go bomb another country, incite bombing. Look, Pakistan and India are fighting right now. I guarantee you America or the so-called white man had a hand in getting that going. Mind you, when Pakistan and India first split up, who had a hand in them having a civil war and fighting? The so-called white man. Because what happened? Most people don't even know. The English were getting kicked out. The English were getting kicked out of India and Pakistan. So then what did the so-called white man do? He incited, well, how are you going to kick us out, but you got Muslims over here and you got those over here that worship other gods? So then they incited them to fight each other. So most Pakistanis and Indians are what? Are actually related. But they'll tell you they not the same people because of what? Religious beliefs. But who created the division today? Now we know that the Lord is the author of all division, but who's the one who started it? The harbinger of death, the bloody man, the red man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He deceives the whole world. Go ahead.
Psalms 58, starting at the top. It says, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, and in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Exactly. See, that's what they do. So instead of giving the root cause of why the crime rate is high, why America's not great, why there's so much division, instead of just admitting, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, we've been fucking everybody up. But why do they have something called white guilt? What is white guilt? White guilt is because they know that they've created most of the problems on the earth. This is a fact. All the wars you create, polluting the earth, the water, the food. Who owns everything? You do. And it's funny now, but all y'all going into slavery. It's funny now because there's a due judgment for the wickedness of the earth. It's a due judgment. They look smiling. It's just funny. Yeah, it's funny. It's real funny until the Lord cracks the sky. Yep, I'm gonna laugh at it.
Proverbs 1.
That's probably yeah. I will laugh at your calamity. This is the problem. It's funny to them. That's why they can create terms like black privilege. Oh, black privilege now?
It's a lock here, brother. And also, you know, the undefeated spirit the Lord allowed them to have.
Exactly.
They can't fathom, or it doesn't seem realistic to fall. Period. That's just, and then when you think like that, you can just drop.
Yep, because they say we will go and rebuild the desolate places.
Right.
We will be like the Most High. Cut their bands asunder and get them far from us. Why? Because they don't want to be attached to the judgment that comes with their actions.
But Salaki, bro, remember in the beginning of that, it says, why does the heathen rage and think of vanity? Oh, it's a vanity thought.
No, get it. Thank you.
Psalms
This
2.
is why coordinate.
That's the whole point of it. Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
It's easy to have
they thinking that way.
It's easy to have an ego when you're undefeated.
Undefeated, right? There you go.
And mind you, they're not even undefeated. They lost to Vietnam. I'm just
We're
giving
talking about
perspective
in the
here.
grand scheme.
In the grand scheme of things, yeah, they can do shit.
And the only reason why they're undefeated is because the Lord Himself.
That's like
wants to
it's like an NBA the NBA championship. They play 7 games. They play 7 games. So you can literally go 3 for 3 in the NBA championships. The person who wins the 7th game wins the championship. But does that really mean that they're the better team? And if you go a 7-game series and this team wins 3, this team wins 3. The 7th game is just whoever came up that game.
Yeah, no, but Esau
It was better in that moment. Come back next year.
Put it like this.
But Esau sweeping niggas.
But this is the thing about Esau right here. Esau creates rules and laws to oppress a certain group of people, and then when those certain group of people learn a back system to get around it, then they move the goalposts.
Right.
That's why they never lose, because they are creating the laws. They'll be like, oh shit, they learned how to make money off this. All right, now remember this arbitrage. Remember when Airbnb was like a big thing? You do know how the Airbnb
create the arbitrage.
Do you know how the Airbnb system got cut down? Who was making the most money? So-called black people.
Yeah, they figured out the loophole.
This is the thing. Black people were starting to
good at that shit.
Starting to create magic, because you show us one thing, we're gonna put a little sauce on it and make it better.
I call it the Cam spirit.
It was so many new millionaires being created before the pandemic, right? Before the scamdemic and after that, cities they all came together under one consultant, said, all right, we got to make new laws and new checks and balances because too many people are doing this. Now you got to get a permit. You got to get a permit for this, and then once you get approved for this permit, you got to get another permit, and once you get all the permits, then you can finally. What they did was they wanted to cut the black people at their legs because there was so many millionaires being created over arbitrage.
Yo, can I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
And also this too, because one of my best homies was in it for a while before this went down. Would I have came to the conclusion and realized that
Remember, I was getting into it.
Jacob's gift. What happened was Jacob got put on game. Then he figured out how to do it and got so good at it and simplified it and then made it even easier.
Yep.
And then he had to cut it because it was making too many millionaires.
Too many millionaires.
That's what happened.
Same thing with anything that we do. All right, I'll use this. Do you know why there's a salary? Do you know why? Whoa. I'll use this because I know you like football. You know why there's a salary cap in football and in basketball? I'll wait. They made a salary cap because they needed to cap how much money the black people were making.
Yeah, makes sense.
All the other sports like soccer, baseball, all the things that they were starting, they had control over, there was no cap. It was guaranteed money. But because our people are naturally faster, stronger, innovative, and all these other things, they said, okay, we got to figure out how to keep them here. Look what happened to Shedeur Sanders. Look what happened to Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders. That was complete hate for his father. Why? Because his father is a strong, so-called black man that raised his sons to be strong, masculine men. They don't like a black man with pride. They don't like a black man that stands on his 10 toes and is not scared of his oppressor. They hate that.
That's what Prime is.
And also,
though.
and what was and also
Prime,
don't get
Deion.
twisted. Hold up. What was Deion too? That's also shaking up the thing. Like the brother did with Sinners. What was Deion?
Oh, what were we gonna say? Innovator?
No, Deion was their representative. So they did their own thing. They did like the Ball family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at the Ball family. They persecuted LeVar Ball. Oh, you this, you that. His sons didn't do nothing, but what did he do? He made sure all three of his sons were successful. They were all millionaires. They all millionaires.
Didn't need who?
And they didn't need the so-called white man to
there
do
you
it.
go. That's all I wanted. That's all
They
I
ain't
wanted
need
to
no
say.
agents.
Ain't no agents,
managers.
nothing.
He said, no, I represent my son.
Lamar Jackson. Remember that when his big contract?
That was mom got that.
They did not want to get a deal done because he didn't have a Jewish agent.
His mom got.
He said, no, why do I need an agent when I already know what I'm doing? My mom gonna represent me.
Yep, she did it.
Then they was like, well, we not gonna give you a contract. Then they was hoping he got hurt that year. He wound up winning MVP. then it was like, shit.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna cut this deal.
Yeah, you gotta cut the deal. Because somebody gonna take it.
Somebody gonna take you.
Yeah.
Look at
Somebody will be like, man, I don't
Fuck. You know what I'm saying, somebody? I don't give a fuck.
look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, all his entire team, all black women. He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? They don't like when we, mind you, Tory Lanez. And I gotta bring this up.
And the brother from Sinners.
And the brothers from Sinners, I'm gonna use Tory Lanez. They locked Tory Lanez up. They're gonna tell you it's about shooting Megan Thee Stallion. We all know he did not do that. What it was is this. He made $1 million in one day off an NFT deal. What he did was he said, look, I'm gonna use my own money to make my own album, and then I'm gonna sell each album for $1. Each album is going to be a limited edition. You'll never be able to find it on any other platforms. It's boom. He launched it and showed black people, so-called black people, how to make money without the so-called white man, without record deals, without the Jewish state, without all this bullshit. And then they said, whoa, we don't like that. Then all of a sudden, allegations started to come out. Then he created a song called All Praise to the Most High.
Yup. That's when it all
I'm banging on the devil, all that. He released that, and then guess what?
the shit.
A couple of months later, oh yeah, now we all know for a fact because of the forensics, the people that were at the party, they all know that he's not the one that had the gun or shot. It was her actual friend. But Megan Thee Stallion, what? Who's the biggest enemy of this? Who's the biggest enemy besides the so-called white man of so-called black of our people? Our women. They were bought by Esau to be informants and insurgents into our communities. This is why every time you look up, they're the first ones to be part of they all complain about not having good men, but be the first to advocate for the alphabet community.
They've been the first
one to say
to bring in Esau into their relationship. Oh, yep. I'm taking you to court. For what?
Instead of
I'm involved in my child's life. Yep. All we gotta do is sit down and come to mutual agreements on how we going. Nah, I'm going to the courts. I need child support.
Exactly.
I need this. I need
exactly.
that.
Yep.
I can't get child support unless I can't get SNAP benefits unless I got you on child support.
Yep.
Let me bring this real quick.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 10 starting at the top. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. It says to break that down. That's because being prescribed is what you call moving the goalposts or whenever they're moving the goalposts or creating more laws so that when Jake can't come up. And I'm finishing the second one. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fathers. So that's what they do. The last one that was good too was Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean is another one. He had a four. He had a four.
What he did was ingenious.
Genius. He had
Ingenious.
He had a four album record deal, and they wanted him to have bring out a record every year. So what he did was he rush jobbed it and did all four as fast as he could. Got to the peak of his of his stardom, and then the same day that he actually dropped the fourth one, he had a whole arsenal of new music already in his arsenal, and dropped that the next day and got 20 million from it, and then chalked it.
And then chalked him. Yep. So after basically what he was
like
saying
that.
is he had a four album contract, right? Within 4 years to get done, he got it all done expeditedly, right? And as soon as his contract was over and he fulfilled his contract, he already had all his good music that he
He
put
probably just made
inside.
some mediocre music.
Here's your 4 albums.
He dropped that.
And then he basically did. Then he went independent. He dropped all his own shit. Made like 20, 30 million, probably more.
The same joint.
And then from there, chalked his record label.
Chalked it.
That's why you haven't heard much about Frank Ocean, because now all the record labels don't want him. But he like already came up.
Smart enough, though.
You know, look at a lot
That was
of.
the birth of self-made young boys, DDG and all them brothers.
Look at the NCAA. Now we got the NIL deals. You want to know why they wasn't allowing us to have NIL deals? Who was making these people billions of dollars for free labor? Doesn't it sound like slavery to you? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? They didn't want you to have an NIL deal because they said, well, we're giving you the privilege to go to our school and represent us. All the money in your likeness is for us to make. If you make it pro, then you make money. It was young kids who were homeless,
and that's the problem.
homeless and starving.
It was incentivizing these kids to do 1 year in college and go into the draft,
Right.
Instead of playing a full 4 years. Now these kids doing full 4 years.
Yeah.
Doing 4
You
years,
got
man,
like
yeah.
even with women, like what's the biggest female basketball player right now in college?
Oh no, she just got drafted #1 overall, the white girl.
No,
not that one.
No,
It's a new
it's a
one.
black girl.
Oh, Juju.
No, Juju. She's still in college. She's doing 4 years.
Yeah.
Juju.
Oh, she's nice, but the one that
She got
the one
Nike deal.
Yeah, a lot of them got NIL deals, Nike deals.
She the best NCAA player right now.
She's been better than Angel in the
Bro, she played like a Jake Dude.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she's really good.
So she like, look, I'm getting paid millions while in college. I'm gonna just stay in college.
A lot of and it was
Get my
crazy.
education.
And, you know why? Because especially in WNBA, a lot of the women are making more money in college with their NIL deals than they're actually making in WNBA, or they go overseas and make even more money. But that's neither here or there. The whole purpose of me telling you that is because the NIL deals was fair, because these Jewish white men, ish suffix meaning pertaining to, not a real Jew, they literally making billions off the backs of our people for free. Now that the playing field is being more leveled, you're starting to notice that, like the brother said, our people are excuse me, staying in school longer, graduating, and doing all these other things, man. But this is why the so-called white man believes that they're losing power. This is why they call it black privilege. Oh, because think about it. You want to know why they call it black privilege? You also got to look at it from like this. We're better than them in everything. They created all these systems and all these rules and laws to keep us down, but the reality is without us, they wouldn't have anything. Now that it's coming to the light that we don't need them, we don't want them, we don't want to even be associated with them anymore, and that if we be left alone, we become greater. It's the same like in the story of Exodus, when Pharaoh woke up one day and said, "Look at these men. These Israelite men are freaking powerful. Whoa! If they go and merge or come into a consult with one of our enemies, they're going to overtake us." This is what the so-called white man feels now.
Oh, and speaking on this part, my bad, y'all know what I'm saying, but look at the transition for football, or the black quarterback. Remember, black quarterbacks was
rare.
Was only good for running.
Yep.
And then and most of the time, the standard for a quarterback was a white guy, because what was the most prized thing you need a quarterback to do is throw.
No. It was more about thinking. They thought. No. I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
It wasn't about just the throwing part. They thought that we were dumb, that we couldn't command a team, that we couldn't think about the plays and being able to break things down. It wasn't just about throwing the ball.
Oh yeah, well, that was a big part.
They knew we were athletic
Now we can
enough
do
to
both
do
now. Now we can do both now. Now black quarterbacks can do all them jobs better than
we
everybody.
always could. It just was a point of time where think about it.
Yeah, transition.
point guard,
but
huh?
it's the same thing with the point guard.
Point guard, too.
The whole point of them not allowing us to have those positions was because they felt like we were dumb and we couldn't handle those positions. When in reality, they were holding on for dear life for the last little bit they could have. Like, perfect example, the black coach. Now, every quarterback in the draft damn near was what?
Black, yeah.
Everybody like, oh, I need a Vic. I need a Jalen Hurts.
Hurts,
I need
yeah.
this. I need that.
Yeah.
Cam Ward.
Yup.
Right? Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders was ranked the number 2 quarterback coming out of the draft. He dropped to the 5th round because they didn't like his dad. Why didn't they like his dad? Because his dad is unapologetically black.
Black.
Unapologetic.
Yeah, correct.
And he's unapologetically what? Masculine. He's unapologetically God-fearing. Now, mind you, is he God-fearing the way we talking? No. But does he represent God? He prays with his team, and he cares about those young men. He says, in my program, it's not just about football. When you leave my program, you're going to be a better man for society. They don't like that. Why? Because they want us to be niggas, spicks, wetbacks, and gangsters.
Yep.
Pacified, scared of them, and dumb. And he said, oh, y'all gonna get your education. He used to be like this: if you don't go to class, you can't come to practice. Who was their top player? It was that one year he transferred. It was one top player. He was a receiver. And Prime made him sit for like 3 weeks, and he was a top recruit.
He treated
No.
like Samuel Jackson did in that one movie.
He said,
Coach Carter.
He said, you don't want to go to class. You don't want to be better. Well, you gonna sit. And they like, yo, why one of your best players sit? Because when he's ready to be part of the team, he's gonna be part of the team. This ain't just about football, right? That's what that was. That's what that was.
Through the spirit, that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, I saw him talk to his daughter, like, you need a father, and he was talking to his thorough shit.
Brother, because a nation, you can always tell the plight of a nation based on their women, and you can always tell the greatness of a nation based on their men.
They get to a certain age, bro. You gotta start teaching these young girls, bro, accountability, bro.
Oh yeah,
accountability. Boys too, obviously.
Yeah,
but you gotta start teaching them accountability. All right, being self-aware.
The reason why is because they're all children. They want to be treated, and mind you, I mean no disrespect to women, but most women want to be treated like a child.
What did it say?
I want to turn my brain off.
What did it say?
I don't want to have to think when I'm with you.
They want all the privilege of being children. Or what is it? No, they want the privilege.
It's the 3 A's.
It's something like they want the privilege of being women, but treated like something like that.
Look, I got you. It's the
They
spirit.
want the responsibility of children, but the privilege of women.
Yep.
It's the 3 A's: accountability of a child, the advantages of a man, and the advantages of a woman, and the authority of a man.
Yep.
Wow. 3 A's.
Beautiful. I actually like
You know what I'm
that.
saying? I brought
Triple A.
Attention
Internet.
of children, the authority of a man,
And then the advantages
the advantage
of a woman.
That's
They want their
So
cake.
mind you,
They want to bake their cake, eat it,
too.
and
And
all that. Bro.
This is why the Lord tells. No. You said everything right, brother. I'm just adding on to what you said. This is why the Lord told him that what? Shut the hell up and learn at home from your husband. This is why they have a head. There's the reason why there's a head of a household. This is the reason why, mind you, and mind you, it's a woman's natural proclivity to want a man that's better. You want a man that's taller, stronger, makes more money. He's more intelligent. He has more charisma. You want that. So don't get mad when I say this. That if you want that from a man, then stay in a woman's place. How do you want me to lead, but you don't listen? How do you want me to lead, but you think you're my equal? How do you want me to lead, but you want to have the authority of me, but then you want the privileges to act like a child? You want to be able to turn your brain off, not pay for nothing, get your door open, and you want to be satiated at all times, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally. If I'm hungry, I need to eat. I need you to feed me.
You want all the benefits and salary of a CEO, but the responsibility of a sales rep.
Yep. You want the meat. Hold on. They want the
Yeah.
meat, the money, energy, attention, and time, but don't want to play any role of accountability to get it. And then make excuses. Yep. Either building, yeah, exactly. Think about it. Especially the Jake woman. You can't tell them nothing. You can't correct them. You can say, "Oh, yo, ladies, you know, when you say that you need a good man to put you in your feminine energy, that just asinine and sounds stupid. Because if you're a woman, you're naturally feminine. If you're a man, you should be naturally what? Masculine. So why do I need to teach you or act a certain way for you to be your natural self? That is a scapegoat for what? For what? Accountability.
They already at their best, bro.
They're already at their best.
They already at their
There is
best.
no
They don't gotta
correction.
put no work
Or a perfect example. Or you'll sit here and say, yo, man, you need to get in the gym. Oh, my God, you're body shaming. No. Your health, your integrity, the way you look is detrimental to what we're trying to do. If you start going to the gym, mind you, because think about it. Most people respect people what? Most people respect people that what? Work out. Why? What is it? What does it sell? When you see a man or a woman who is fit, what's the first thing you think? Wow, they're disciplined.
Self-respect.
Wow, they have self-respect.
They follow through.
Wow, they follow through. They have consistency. These are characteristics of people who usually take care of themselves. But then you got those overweight, but everything that's done is their hair. You didn't care about nothing else but your hair.
The hair and nails done, but the body.
But the body, that makes no sense. That
And
makes
the
no
crazy,
sense.
and the funny thing about it is, right? These are the same type chicks that talk like, oh, men like this, men like that. No, men will tell you what they want, but you don't listen.
You don't listen.
Listen, it's simple.
It's
Very
like,
simple.
Simple recipe.
men only like women with big butts and big titties.
That's
and
not-
all.
no, because-
no. Look, there's a difference between this. Look, the BBLs and big titties, all that is those are gardening tools. It's a use. Those are not the women that men are marrying.
No, they're not marrying them.
Men are marrying the soft, feminine, natural woman.
Exactly.
Who doesn't wear a lot of makeup,
Makeup.
if any.
Yup,
That wear some natural
little
hair.
bit more modest,
It's
right?
more
Because think
modest.
about it. You take off that fake hair, them fake lashes, that makeup that's painting your face on. You get rid of that BBL, them fake titties, and all that other shit you got on. Who are you as a person?
Nothing.
Who are you as a person? If your fakeness is your identity, you are worthless.
They call them empty vessels, all right?
You are worthless, and that goes for
Pretty
men too.
bottle.
Right.
That goes for men too, and I'm making it very
Hiding
clear.
behind their money,
Honey
their
behind their
clothes,
money,
their jewelry,
the jewelry.
their
They'll put a
cars.
bunch of jewelry and everything on. Now, mind you, we brothers, we wear jewelry and stuff like that, but it's not our identity. Our identity is these fringes. Our identity is serving the Lord. Our identity is Hebrew Israelites.
our
We stand
customs,
on
our
that.
culture.
Our customs are culture. That's what we.
Laws.
That's
Yep.
what we. And now, mind you, is Jake naturally flashy? Yes,
Of course, yeah.
we're the salt of the earth. Everybody imitates us. Literally.
That's why I was watching a video.
Chinese boys say
Dr.
that.
Umar was saying like the problem between blacks and these other nations will be rich and you'll never know. Jake will have put all the clothes and stuff to make you think they're rich. And I argue that because yes, some of them are influenced by hip hop culture, but in reality, Jake is naturally flamboyant.
Yeah, naturally
So we are. I said, listen. At the end of the day, we're not like these other nations. We're not.
And it's so
We're not
tough with
base
the-
men. We're not
the
plain.
college.
We are kings and princes,
In
bro.
the slum, in the
And
slums,
we're
we still
flamboyant.
maintain
you know-
that spirit.
you
The
know what,
problem
in
is
the
we
hood.
just
Yeah,
we like to make these things our identity instead of the Most High our identity. And then we look. Solomon had gold in his
Hair and his teeth.
grills, all that stuff ain't nothing.
Bro,
new,
not even
bro.
that. Not even that. I go to the Aztecs. I just watching a video the other day about dentistry in Aztecs. Did you know the Aztecs, which are our people, right? They used to drill holes and put gems in their teeth. When they used to lose their teeth, they would take gold and drill through the gold and put the
Replace
teeth
it,
back.
yeah.
Because you know what? Gold is a natural conductor and it does not
Right.
what? It doesn't,
corrupt.
create, it doesn't corrode or anything like that. So it doesn't create any bacteria. Actually, it's antibacterial. But our people already knew the concept of this stuff. So I would say this. Our people are naturally flashy because we're naturally better.
The Most High is my fault.
The Most
High is flamboyant.
Yeah, exactly.
So where do you think we get it from?
What you got?
I was actually about to find this one precept. I think it's an Exodus. I can't find it.
What
But
does it sound like?
when the Lord set the temple, and he laced the Israelites in fine linen. He laced them in gold and silver. Gave them jewelry and all types of manner of beautiful way of looking. So even the Lord had laced the Israelites with that type of style in general is the reason why we naturally built that.
Bro, it's a natural proclivity.
I gotta find it.
Bro, it's cool because you ain't gotta get it because you just paraphrase it. But at the end of the day, you know, you gotta understand something. Like you're only as strong as your men, but you're always as weak as your woman. Right? If your women are out of order, the nation is usually in shambles.
That's why the scripture say in Sirach 26, I believe, it talks about how a wicked woman, when she go up into the city, basically.
That is Sirach 26.
Yeah, she
It's actually
the
at the
way,
top, too.
The way she make of her man a laughing stock just by the way she act, because your woman is a reflection of you.
Yep.
Because again, like you said, you reiterate the point. You can know the state of a nation by looking at them.
The Willie Lynch letters, Esau did what? He made sure, he said, we will make the woman the head of the household, right? That's why we're doing things like buck breaking and all that, right? If you go to any other nation on the planet, right, most women are in order unto their men.
Every time.
In any other nation on the planet, right?
Asian culture, Indian culture.
You go to any other culture, they're always in some kind of order, right? They understand. All right, so you ask our women, do we need men? Most of them going to say no. You go to any other nation on the planet and you ask them, do you need your men? They're all going to say yes. And who's the leader of the so-called black people? Our women right now. Why? Because the Lord says, "I shall make a woman compass a man," and that's in turn. This is just prophecy within the
And they teaching men to be cucks and simps.
That's why, and I'm gonna make this very clear. When the Lord has that great culling, the culling, right? That means 2/3 being cut off. A lot of it's gonna be women because women outnumber us with 10 to 1.
16.
I'm talking about not the full population. I'm talking about our population.
Oh, in America.
And I'm talking about just our population in general. They outnumber us completely.
Oh, yeah.
Most of our men are in snares and holes in prison houses or dead.
It gotta be a lot because I know Atlanta's 33 to 1 right now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just our population. It's probably you know what? If it's 10 plus to 1,
Yeah.
right?
10 to 1.
10 to 1. It's fine. I mean, you can look up the actual statistics yourself, you know, but you can't tell our women anything. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. You be like, "Hey, sweetheart, they be like, I need a man that's going to do all these things." Okay, well, you do know that you got to present yourself as a woman that a man like that is going to want. Right. If he don't want me how I am, then he ain't worth it. Make it make sense. You want a job, right? You want a job, right? You got to usually do the job before you get the job, or at least qualify for the job to get the job. You don't even qualify, but you're demanding something that is bro. What makes you think a man that's making 6 figures? I'm gonna make this very clear. What makes you think that a man that's making 6 figures has no kids? Literally, I'm gonna use this brother right here. Making 6 figures has no kids, not a single kid. Meets a so-called black woman. She got 3 kids by 3 different mothers, and she expects that this man should settle for her.
Sloppy.
Fuck out of here with that bullshit. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Why would he choose you? Why would he choose you? And then what's crazy? They'll have 3 kids by 3 different mothers and 3 different fathers, and then you just ask them, "Hey, do you want any more kids?" I'm done. I'm not having no more kids. So you're about to stop
And I have
a
none.
man who doesn't have any from having kids because you don't want no more.
Right.
So why would he choose
Why
you?
would I choose you?
I gotta settle for that. That's crazy.
Why would he settle for that?
And then in their mind, I'm the one not worthy enough for them.
And then they say it's a red flag. Then they say it's a red flag because it's like, why you 30-something, 35 plus single with kids? That's a red flag. Why is that a red flag? Because that means you're a quitter.
Yep.
And that means that nobody wants you.
You're not on
You're
camera.
probably good at being
Facing us.
single. You know what I mean? So,
It is what it is, bro.
bro, the hair says it all, bro. Hair says it all.
Yeah, but
Them like a fucking dog.
it says it all, bro. Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And I can even say this, man. And it's the thing. Now, mind you, per capita, and I hate to say it, we are in a cheap place of concourse. 3 out of every 4 of our women are fat. 3 out of every 4.
It's not body shape.
What's up, body shit?
That's not body shaming. And actually, that's the problem with. No, I got you. That's the problem with society right now. That's the problem with society right now. You need more shame. See, back in the day, in my grandmother's time, and the time before then, there was shame. Women were shamed for leaving their marriages. You were a strong woman for keeping your vows under God. But now everybody want to just, I don't feel like it no more.
I ain't happy.
Guess what? You disrespecting the Most High. What's the point of the vow then? Don't get married then.
Nowadays, being strong and independent is dressing half naked and going out and then being free. That's empowering.
Independent is literally synonymous with being a whore.
Yep. That's empowering.
The word queen is synonymous with what? Whore.
Very true. Very true.
And then don't even want to take the correction. And I get it, some people might get offended, but see, guess what? Isaiah 58:1. Hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Don't just sit here and harp on the tone or how loud I'm being. Listen. That's just all it is listen. Guess what? Our women don't listen.
Isaiah 3:12.
There you go. That's the spirit. I'm about to say Isaiah 3.
Bro quoted it earlier.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it up.
Go ahead, bring it up.
It says, as for my people, I'm going to start at 11. It says, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with them, with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path.
Whoa. But who's leading over them at this point? Women. And it's doing what? Leading them to what? To err and destroy paths. So a woman is not supposed to be in a place of authority. She's too emotional. She wants to be treated like a child and too emotional.
what's that? Jeremiah 31, bro. With
I saw
woman.
that little joint talking about there's a real popular meme coming out with multiple women jumping in the car arguing and the man just slamming food in her face and making her chill.
Like a child. I have a daughter that's that's about to be 17 years old. Yes, I'm that old. I have a daughter that's about to be 17 years old, and this is my little baby girl. It's my only child, and she still pouts. I correct her. She start crying, but dad, and I'm like, all right. But why did you do what you just did? If you don't want me, if you don't want to be upset with you, why would you do what you just did?
It do, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm not raising no. I tell her, I'm like, I'm not raising no women that have no accountability, privilege, can't self. Nope, I'm not doing it.
Yep, and that's the problem.
We can't.
Yo,
be the
I
one
literally
to
said
break.
three out of every 4 of our women, right? And literally, as we speak right now, if I pan the camera,
I've counted so far. I've counted 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. We counted 7 out of 10 right now. Overweight.
It's accurate.
Isaiah 3:24 would tell you.
But mind you, they did a study. They even did a study. Did you know that black women have more babies than black men? What does that tell you? Black women have a million more babies.
Oh, I know what you mean.
A million more compared to black men.
Okay.
There you go. Jeremiah 31.
Well, it fits into
22.
the curses too.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
That prophecy's fulfilled, bro.
Y'all talking about them having more women, the Jake women having more women than the Israelite man, bro.
Yeah, how is that even thing? Mind you, they
making more money.
No, I'm adding to what you said.
Nah.
So look, they have more children than us, and then they did a study on the most fit to the most obese. Did you know that Jake men are the most fit in the world?
Makes sense.
Did you know that our women are the most obese in the world? How is the sliding scale like this?
Clear-cut curse, bro.
How is it a sliding scale?
They took us out the house, bro.
Because Jake
gave them
definitely
government
are
assistance.
Hold on.
Ain't been right since.
Remember when Yahweh Shai was talking to the one woman, and she was like, "I've never been married." He's like, "Bitch, you had 5 husbands.
Right.
You had 5 husbands. Who you lying to?
And the one you with now ain't your husband.
And the one you with now ain't even your husband."
Because all 5 of the men you've been with alive.
Then it's like, how else would you know if you wasn't the son of the man? Come on, you better check yourself.
But look, you have 5 husbands. That also goes into the fact that sex is marriage. But we ain't gonna get into that right now. You know. But you got 5. You got 5 husbands, and she like, ooh.
How'd you know that?
How'd you know?
How else?
How else would I know?
Big time.
Right? So. Excuse me. But I say all this to just bring out the narrative of the wickedness, man. We are in the end days. And think about it. There's an attack on masculinity. There's an attack on so-called black men in general. They want us to be effeminate and subservient. They want us to be effeminate and subservient. And who is helping push that narrative? Our women. That's why I got terms called toxic masculinity. There's no such thing.
Such thing as toxic masculinity.
You're either masculine or you're feminine. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity.
Toxic femininity.
There's a toxic femininity. Think about it. Feminism. It's toxic as all hell. Telling you women to be whores. Mind you, as we speak, carpool of our women, they all fat. It makes no sense. But then they get mad. Oh, all the black men leaving to go deal with other women.
But you know what's crazy? I saw somebody do the statistics on that. And even the statistics show that most black men marry black women.
Yeah.
And it's like even
But what it is, but even the successful ones.
But they're picking the best of it, and it's a small number.
Yep. But guess what? They only. But remember, 80% of all women are only having sex with 20% of the men.
Yep.
So that means that top 20%. Let's say in the 20% of those black men, 18% is still marrying black women. The other 2% is marrying outside their race.
Yep.
But guess what? That 2% is like the athletes, and those that they see on TV.
Actors, so the ones you see.
So
because they like to generalize a people based on a small percentage of what you see. Now we giving you our perception based on the general public. We literally doing the numbers. So far, what? I think I've counted like 14, and I think I'm like 11 for 14. That means I was just 7 for 10. So that means I've only seen out of the next 4 women, I've only seen 1 that wasn't.
Look
no, not even. 11 for 14. Out of the last 4 women, they always
Bro,
on shape.
look across the street. Everywhere you look.
And don't let us do a poll. And don't let us do a
another
don't
one.
let us do a poll on weed. Don't let us do a poll on weed, bro.
Bro. And this is not a narrative for us to just get on our women, but at the end of the day, man, correction.
It's correction. You have to bring it.
Just
to
like
light.
because we get on men more than anything. We talk about y'all once in a blue moon.
Once in the blue.
Once in a blue moon. But we get on men every day. Yo, you stop being prideful. Stop being a pussy. Stop being effeminate. Stop doing these things. This is what we do most of the time. But you women are out of order.
I think when a man is
And that's why
feminine,
passport bros
it's
are at an
hard to get
all-time
out
high. That's exactly why passport bros are at an all-time high.
Stop being feminine, so it's tough.
Jake John posted, yeah, y'all passport bros is going out there hitting prostitutes. Yo, the comments was crazy. They were just trying to talk down on y'all be going,
Did you? But did you?
y'all
But did you?
fly out of country.
But look at the percentage. But look at the percentage. But look at the
That's
percentage of
hating
men
ass
who actually leave the country to go find wives. That's a very high percentage.
Very high.
People are not getting married in America, but
they're
people are
getting married.
leaving to get married. Oh, what about that percentage? Why are they leaving to go marry other women? Because y'all bitches ain't shit.
Well, and also another thing, I saw a little interview where women will shame the brother doing it because y'all can't handle strong women.
we don't want to.
Who wants to handle?
That's
First of
what
all,
it is. That's
if a
what it
woman
is.
ever tells me, "Oh, you're not strong enough to handle me," if I gotta handle you, what's the point of you? Ain't you supposed to be my rib? Ain't you supposed to have add-on to some peace? Ain't you supposed to be like
Ain't you
taking
supposed to
some
bring
pressure
joy
off
to
of
my
me, some
life?
joy
Yeah.
to my life? Oh, I gotta handle you? You ain't for me. You ain't for me.
That's
Any
why-
man out here gotta handle a woman, get rid of that bitch, bro. Give her a bill of divorce.
That's why
and
they
say
shame
bye.
women. That's why they shame women who actually are feminine and feel like,
Oh,
I'm
you a
catering
pick
to
me.
my man. You a pick me.
How's she?
And it's always, guess what? It's always the single women. It's
How
never
is-
all the married women that cater and love their husbands get the best. They first of all
All
they
of
get the marriage,
most of the women that are married,
and they get the treatment.
most of mind you, men choose their wives. Men choose their wives.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you're not getting married, you need to look in the mirror.
Downfall of most women.
Every
This shit
single
right here.
time you meet a man
That right
and he
there.
has not proposed to you, you need to look in the mirror. Change your ways. Men choose their wives. Men ain't trying to marry you. If you've never been proposed to, I can guarantee you, more than likely you ain't shit.
Well, listen, and I'll tell you this too, right? Even the most ain't shit of men, when they get a real good woman, they hold on to
They-
it.
Turn up.
bro,
They
I-
change.
That'll make a man say, "Damn,
Hold
you know
up.
what? I might
I'm
be fucked up,
gonna
but
use my best friend. My best friend got married last year. My man was Usher, aka Mr. Ladies Man, aka used to run the streets with me. I knew this man since I was 7 years old. Who would have thought? My man met this girl, bro. I remember it started like this. Yo, bro, we going out this weekend? Yo, bro, let's go to a bar, have a drink. Then out of nowhere, I ain't even getting as many phone calls. Then I finally talked to him. He like, yo, man, I'm going out with Lady Love. We about to go, yeah, me. I'm like, who? Hey, yo, man, I'm about to take a trip to Harrisburg. She live in Harrisburg. I said, who? Yo, man, I don't know, man. I think I love her. I said, what? Mind you, and you want to know, you want to know, and this is me being honest with you. You want to know why I know how she got that ring on her damn finger? How she got this man who usually can have the plethora of that he wanted to settle down and say, this is all I need, all I want. She was such a good woman. You know what she did to him? She showed him different. She was more meek. She was more God-fearing.
Tentative.
You know, he asked me, he said he was having a conversation, and I'm going to give this his testimony. He was having a conversation with her on one of their first dinners, and he said, what do you think about the word submission? The average girl going, oh my God, oppression. Oh my God, he was a piece of shit. Mind you, this is a so-called black woman, so don't worry, he didn't marry outside of his race.
Yeah.
This is a black woman, chocolate woman too, beautiful woman. All praise to the Most High that he found himself a good wife. Because it says in the scriptures, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. That doesn't mean there's many wives out here. It means it's scarcity and you gotta find one. Everybody would be married if it was just easy to go get a wife. No, it's hard to find them.
He who findeth a wife beginneth a possession.
Exactly. So look, so then he asked her, so how do you feel about the word submission? You know what she said?
I would love to hear this.
She broke it down and even brought up scriptures before he had to. Well, didn't Eve come from the rib of Adam? And didn't the Lord make a hierarchy where it's God, then man, then woman, then children? I grew up that way and that's how I'm moving. I said, wait, you found this naturally? You found her in the church? Nah, bro. We just see her meet. I said,
We also know Rebecca.
but yeah, but that's not the point. We didn't. There was no. Most of the women that went to our school was what? Ain't shit. So don't do that. You got to give credit due where credit's due.
Just so happens she went to her school and would end up being like that. So that's what's up.
Exactly. And most of the women that came from our school were ancient.
Yeah.
So look, she was doing things and showing reciprocity, which most don't. Most don't give any reciprocity. They expect to be given everything and give very little. If anything, it's just a box. And if all you can offer is box, you're worthless. Especially to men who get box. I'm sorry, but like, yo, getting some yams these days, bro. Put like this: if this was the stock market, the price of pussy has plummeted.
That's Isaiah 3:24.
You ain't got to do much. Look at it, another one.
Isaiah 3:24 is right there.
I guarantee you, I'm like, yo, what do you care more about, your hair and nails or your body? She gonna be like, well, I gotta make sure I get my hair. Then what the fuck? What makes you think men give two shits about your hair over your body?
That's why women don't go to the gym. They be like, I don't want to sweat my hair off.
What the fuck you talking about?
But
look,
that shit into a
but
bun or
and so I gotta. It says, oh, yo, get that. Won't you women that are at ease? Get that real quick.
Isaiah 32.
But you Jake women, man, got a rude awakening because Jacob's trouble that's coming, and I gotta be very, very clear about this. Jacob's trouble is called Jacob's trouble, meaning Israel's trouble. When it comes, it's gonna come like a whirlwind. And guess who's gonna get hemmed up in that the most? Women. You know why? There wouldn't be a precept that says, in that day, 7 women will cling unto one man. Why are they saying that? You know why? Because all these women gonna be dying left and
That's
right.
why I said that,
They're going to see that they're not equal.
They're gonna notice that they're not.
women that are at ease.
Yep.
What does it say? Yeah, the grind. What it says? The bitches shall. What?
Isaiah 32:9, it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech.
This is the Lord telling you, you women of Israel, right? You princesses, right? You want to be treated like a child, but you're not a child, you're a princess. And to be called a princess or a daughter of Zion is the highest form of honor you can ever have. They know what that means? And I'm going to make this very clear to y'all so y'all have a better understanding. The women of our nation are higher than every other heathen man on the planet. Are higher than every other woman on the planet. You are literally a princess of the power. Do you understand what that means?
That shit crazy.
You are better than every other man. So you do supplant men of other nations. You do supplant women of all nations. This is why we got to come down on you so hard. Because you're not standing with your crown raised high. It says the women of our nation used to be so dainty and pretty that their feet wouldn't touch the ground. They smell, ooh, dirt? No. Somebody pick me the fuck up.
Real shit though.
That's what it said. It said they had the little anklets and stuff, and they said the tinkling of their feet, and they was like, oh, dirt, no, oh. I'm not doing that. Yo,
And righteousness, that shit sound cute.
because it was.
It's feminine.
That was feminine.
Every time you see that one woman that you just can tell by the way she moves, the way
you
she
like, oh,
walks and
snap.
talks.
And I'm like, oh,
it's so
one, pick her
feminine.
up.
It's
Yeah,
like,
oh,
oh,
one,
you
and
be wanting to just like.
and this is the thing that women not even understanding. Their feminine power is so strong that do you know how easy it is to break a man down? Why? You trying to compete with a man will never make a man bow to you.
Testimonial, please. Hey yo, how real this is retarded. On my job, there was a situation where all of us men got into a situation where we couldn't handle one brother. One brother was messing up the whole entire room. So then there was a woman that we knew that she saw the situation, was like, don't worry, I got this. And she's also a very feminine woman.
Yeah.
So she said, don't worry, I got it, let me talk to him. We all arguing, we all saying we want to say. She walked up and did exactly this. I don't know what she said, but I know it sounded something like this. Listen, baby, why you gotta go like this and da-da-da? The energy was so powerful that every brother in there, and it was,
Calm down,
there was
like, oh,
more than
shit.
like 16 brothers,
Oh,
including
shit.
me. It broke us down like, oh shit. This brother that was arguing and was being very negative was like, you right, cool, and buckled like a little bitch.
I got you.
It was the craziest shit
Hold on, I
I've
got you right
seen,
here.
bro.
The Hawk.
Beautiful.
The Hawk. Hawk smash. They like, yo, where Black Widow at? We need to calm this man down before he does more destruction. Hey, big guy. The birds are setting and the sun's going down in the east. You know you need to just calm down. He's like,
I got one more, and we ain't gonna keep going. the last one is a very good one too, just equal. There was the movie, it was DC movie, the Justice League. Oh yeah. Oh, it was the Justice League. Superman died and they brought him back to life with Flash. And long story short, he forgot who he was and was destroying everything. Long story short, Batman said, "We can't stop him. We don't know what to do. We gotta get the big gun." Now you would think that it's some type of Kryptonian type of weapon or whatever. Long story short, a little cab came through on the war scene, and little Lois Lane came out. She seen him, she touched him, they flew away and stopped the whole war.
Yep. Come on. Oh.
From a feminine woman.
Who was that?
She said, "Babe,
who was
just
that
stop."
in the Bible that was walking and stopped the whole war? Judith. Mind you, this is biblical. See, this is the problem about our women. They don't want to be in order, but they're not understanding that you will get more out of your men by just being in your natural order. As soon as you want to fight a man at his level, think about it. Think about it. How many times you see men fighting with their wives? And their wives, First of all, you talking to me like a grown man. Do you know that most men don't talk to me the way you talking to me right now?
Talk to each other like that because why?
Because
there's violence that's capable of violence.
But you
so
think,
most men tread lightly, like, all right.
But you think that you as powerful as me, and then you sitting here barking at me with like that. Guess what? I'm going to be pissed. But let me be yelling, and you just calm. And then you just say something like this. Hey, baby, I know you're upset right now. Can you just listen to me a little bit? And you calm. I'm like, whoa. Done. Baby, you know what? I'm sorry. I did do something that might have
upset
upset
you. Making you feel bad. Like, damn.
Done.
Maybe I'm a little too.
Maybe
harsh.
I'm being too harsh.
Done.
The women of old, right? Think about this.
About that.
Think about this. The women old. They used to be in their marriages back in the day, right? No. How is it that they stayed in their marriages? Your great grandmother, your grandmother stayed in their marriages because you want to know what?
They got like
let's say you got.
kids.
Hold on. Let's say hold on. I got you right here. They say you got a man that's doing you dirty. This is what grandma used to do. She had so much integrity and honor to the Lord that she would hold on to her vows. You can make a man feel bad about himself by just being right.
Yep.
He out here fucking all these itches and doing all this stuff, but every time he come home, you cooking. Eventually he gonna be like, damn, I got a good woman. Damn, she don't do nothing wrong to me, because he gonna start feeling like, damn, she don't never do nothing wrong. And I keep doing it. You know what he gonna end up start doing? I gotta do right because I can't lose this. Why? Because she stayed with her integrity.
But you know what? But the thing is though, debate.
They don't have integrity these days.
Debate that and say, well, if a man wanted to, he would.
It doesn't work that way.
And then they'll leave and say, I'll go find me a man that's willing to be.
You gonna leave.
You gonna find a man who's
You're gonna start the cycle all over again.
But it's like the right woman, the man ain't gonna have no choice.
And then you gonna be like, damn, I miss my husband.
No choice, bro.
Damn, he was perfect for me. Yeah, he might have popped a couple ditches from time to time, but he was perfect for me.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, man's a natural proclivity is to want to be with other women. But can a man be faithful? Yes, 100% a man can be faithful. It's not one of those things, mind you, it's called discipline. A man can sit here and say, for this woman, I'm willing to give it all up. She's so good to me. She's so soft to me. She's doing so much good. You know what? I'm done. I'm good.
It's just
like,
smart
bro,
choices, but it doesn't mean it's not cool.
Even what Paul said, though,
It's just not expedient, that's all.
It's a lot. Even what Paul said, he said, you're going to have trouble in the flesh.
Right.
So imagine the trouble they was going through then. Well, we got these now.
10 times worse now.
You know what I'm saying? It's bro. Most send you one, bro. It's like, yeah.
Most women got 56 Instagram boyfriends already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Them dudes in the DM saying, giving all his attention. So now it's so saturated she can't even see the right one in front of her.
But the Lord will put different qualities in 3 different women, and you it's like.
Well, you know, you brought up the dude Myron. And he made a video. I saw a clip. And it was very profound what he said. It was a beautiful example. He was making an example. He said, okay, let's look at it from a man's perspective. He said, imagine, he's using this from a life of the average pretty woman. He was like, imagine if one, you know what I'm talking about? He said, imagine one day you wake up, you get a text message. Hey, handsome, I was just thinking about you.
Oh, yeah, I see this.
I was just thinking about you. Here's $100. I want you to go get a haircut, go get some breakfast. And then 4 hours later, hey, handsome, just thinking about you again. You're just an amazing man, and and that goes on for a day. He said you won't feel good about yourself. Oh shit. He said, let's say that happens for a week straight. You won't start to feel like, damn, I'm the shit. I'm the man. They say unless it keeps going on and on and on and on. He said you're gonna make it. It's gonna get to the point where you're gonna think that you're God's gift to women.
Women, yeah, you are.
Then you're gonna start. You're not gonna have that introspective personality where you think like, all right, I gotta better myself.
Right.
I need to get fit. I need to read. I need to educate. I need to become a better man. Because women are always constantly texting you, DMing you. Oh, you're perfect. You're handsome. You're amazing.
You're not.
this.
You're never going to think that you have to change or fix anything.
Exactly.
The female who heard it agreed.
Yep. Because that's the
Oh,
life of an
shit.
average pretty woman.
No, that's the life of an average woman. Period.
Period. Yeah.
So that's why they be so. That's why you can't. And this is why a healthy dose of shame is good for people. You should shame people because it causes correction.
It does.
Hey yo,
You're not saying talk shit. You're not saying talk shit
I
about
make this simple
people.
as this. No, because men are very direct.
Yep.
My brother could tell me, yo, bro, man, you starting to get a little gut. Yo, bro, what's up with you, man? You all right? You getting a gut. Is that body shaming or is that correction? Then I'm like, oh shit, maybe I am getting a gut. Let me go get in the gym. But if you constantly tell somebody you're perfect the way you are, lie. The way you're doing it is perfect, lie. They're going to be puffed up in their lives that they can't see when someone's
They say
telling the truth.
body positivity.
And then they say, and this is why you get the precept, because I tell you the truth, does it now make me your enemy?
Yep.
Because if I'm the only one telling you the truth about yourself, you're going to think I'm hating.
Yep.
You're going to think I'm the enemy. But all the people who are lying to you are your actual enemy. The people who are always the people who are always coming down on you are the people that actually care about you. Because correction means care.
Yep.
Love is an action word. There has to be something behind it. If someone tells you they love you, but they can't tell you the truth, they don't correct you. Perfect example. Hey, yo, bro, you gaining too much weight. You need to get in the gym. Oh, you just hating on me. You body shaming. No, I care about your health, your well-being. You need to get your ass in the gym.
Heard a man say that before?
What?
I heard that before. I never heard a man say body shaming before.
Nah.
Well, I'm speaking
I know
of
what he's saying though. Okay. I'm just saying that shit sound weird as shit.
It doesn't sound weird because so there's a feminine men that be like, that's body shaming.
I ain't never heard that.
The black community,
trust
bro,
me,
you
when
will hear
you go
it.
on Instagram,
You will hear it.
Instagram, you're gonna see it.
You know what? And
we
also
in Philly.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
but
not
us
really,
in general
yeah,
are surrounded by so much dominant alpha male. That's probably
Yeah,
why
you're not really going-
I'm willow spoiled.
We're not spoiled. What it is we only surround ourselves with men. Like, I'm attracted to power. I'm a naturally powerful man. All praise to the Most High. He created me to have a natural leadership proclivity. I'm a natural, I'm naturally faithful. I'm naturally brotherly. It's like hard to explain. I'm like one of them brothers that don't waver in certain shit. But if I say I got you, I got you.
One thing about men too, men naturally kind of self-correct themselves when they're around other men that they feel like are superior.
But you want to
to
know why?
them.
They do.
No, I notice this when
They
I'm
do.
working. I know y'all probably experience
All the
this.
time.
When you out and about and you talking to a brother, like I work one-on-one with people because I work on a truck. So I work
Shalom,
on
Marriott.
one or two
Shalom,
people.
brother.
Shalom, bro. And if I'm working with a
Open
brother
rebuke is
that's
better than secret love. You right?
if I'm working with a brother that's out of shape and sloppy, I'm always, they see me, I got my lunch pack, it'd be like protein, veggies, fruit.
They start
I'm
going, oh,
drinking
shit.
black coffee and water. They like, but they want to go to Popeyes. They like, yo, man, y'all been thinking about getting in the gym, man. Yo, I be like,
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm gonna also tell you why.
It's opposite effect.
they like, damn.
But you also gotta understand something. Life for men and women are two different things. When little boys are born, they're already taught competition. They're already taught that they're not the strongest, the fastest. Why? How are they taught this? Playing on teams, sports. You go to school, you ain't the smartest. You need to do extra credit. Oh, you're not the tallest. You're not the most good looking. You're not the fastest. You're not the strongest. We're always told that we must be better to get better, to do better. Now let's flip this to women. The world is your oyster.
You deserve
everything.
You deserve a happy
You
man.
don't have to
deserve
work
a
for
good man.
anything. You deserve a man that it's supposed to be for you gonna find you. Men are taught, bro, if you want a bad bitch, you gotta get better to go get that bad bitch. Oh, bro, you out of shape. How do you expect to get a woman that look like that and you out of shape? Oh, how do you expect to get a woman like that but your funds are low? How do you expect to get a woman like that? You ain't got a car. How do you expect to get a woman like that? You ain't got a house. How do you expect to, we always are taught that we must elevate. They're taught that so then when they finally hear somebody who's in their masculine and say, yo, hey, sweetheart, I can't deal with a woman that don't listen.
You know what they say? Oh, you too sassy.
Oh, you
for
too.
me.
I'm sassy because I'm giving.
Because I have standards.
Because I have standards. I'm looking for a Proverbs 31 woman, and you definitely not that. Oh my God, you disrespectful. Go read it yourself. Do you do any of these things? Well, then shut the fuck up.
Sassy.
Oh, he's sassy.
sassy.
He's sassy. I'm sassy.
Sassy joint around.
I'm
They
sassy
love that
now.
shit, bro.
But guess what? See, this is the problem about our society today.
Women think that
They believe that a man
is
only a man if he's subservient unto her. If he's providing, protecting, shutting up, and letting her do what she wants, then he's a good man. How are you to tell a man what a man is? How can you sit here and say there's such thing as toxic masculinity when I can say there's toxic femininity? Look at the feminist movement now. It's freaking outrageously crazy. Right? It's crazy.
And they say toxic masculinity is basically aggression. But in reality, they misinterpret aggression for masculinity because most men are feminine. You're so used to seeing feminine men docile,
But guess what? But guess what? But
unspoken,
guess what? Guess who actually-
introverted.
But guess who actually shows more aggression than anybody? Women. Everything you do, woman, is aggression. When you sit here and you attack somebody verbally, that's aggression. When you want to use a defamation of character and all these things, that's aggression. That's all aggression.
Dominant man still win. When she see an attractive one, and he says no. Women don't like that, and they also attracted to it too.
Yeah, but that's a man that stands 10 toes and that's unapologetically him.
Yo, I seen a joint.
That's the guy I'm
no,
talking about.
I seen a joint, and it was like this. The chick was talking in this podcast. She was like, "There's men out here that really would," and then the dude was
It's
like,
like,
"He
where is
said,
he?
where he at?" He said, "Where is he at? Where is he at?" Y'all always talking about this men that out here that really would. Where they at? Where is he at? And then she was like, "We don't want him."
Proving my point.
Prove my point.
So
So
you-
basically, why would I do all these? Oh, there's a man out here that really would be faithful to me. There's a man out here that really would spoil me. There's a man out here that would pay my bills and let me dress naked and do what I
then he
want.
flipped it. He said, if you ask me what kind of woman is that, where she at, I'll pick up my phone and show you a woman like that. See, we can speak to it. You can't. And like I said, this ain't a shit on women day. At the end of the fucking day, if the shoe fits, wear it. Most of you women are out of order. Right?
know what
Y'all
I
get
think?
mad at us for being out of order, but guess what? You out of order.
Spirit of the Lord has going to his tomorrow's Mother's Day.
Women will sit here and say, I want a good man. That's da 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 da. All right. So what do you think? What do you think you need to do?
What are you doing to get that kind of man? Whoa, what you mean?
I ain't got to do nothing.
Why would I do all these things when I don't have a ring on my finger? Why am I going to put a ring on your finger and I don't know that you can be a wife?
You don't know if you can be one. That shit's crazy.
One of the most profound things I saw a woman say that's so simple. She said, "Good girlfriends turn into wives."
They do.
Yep.
Because all the chicks was hating on her for being feminine
Matter of fact-
and catering to her
matter of
man.
fact-
And they was like, "Girl, why you don't even got a ring on your finger? Why you doing all this?" She said, "Good girlfriends turn into wives."
Because you got to show me you can do the job before you get the job. Why would I sit here just because you got some box? You might give me the most sloppiest chewies of chewies. All right, is that your only worth? Do you add on? Are you a leech? Do you all you do
I
is
could just throw you a couple dollars.
Oh,
yo,
exactly. Why not just go to?
It could just be a barter system. Like, yo, here, $50, bro. You ain't cheap ball, bro.
Why would
That's all you
I
good
Why
for.
would I deal with someone that literally is not an asset? Now, mind you, being an asset unto a man is very easy for women. Bro, adding to a man is easy because, like, simple as this. I'll use the brother right here, workout warrior. The brother, let's say he got a gym bag that's getting tattered up, and his woman sees him every day going to the gym. She don't do nothing for him, but one day she said, "No, my man needs a new bag," and she go and buys him a new bag. That's like giving him diamonds.
It is.
He like, she really cared enough to this is the one.
Fucked up like that.
How many of you women don't have any reciprocity? Most of y'all want to be treated like children and don't want to do nothing. You want no responsibilities, but then you want the respect of an adult. Make it make sense. And that's why in Jacob's trouble, the majority of the 2/3 that are going to be getting wiped out is going to be women. And I know y'all don't want to hear it, but it's true.
That's a beautiful mentality to have, Chickamauga. He just basically said that's why he's not really dealing with these modern women. He just focused on getting better.
Oh, all right, cool.
Power.
It's at 1 Corinthians 7, or is that 9 and 7? Where Paul said, be like me. Hold on, I got it. Actually, I was reading it earlier. Brother, you know what? I got a precept for you, brethren. You know, I can take it.
Yeah, that's a good mentality to have, man. Because at the end of the day, the Most High going to give you a good woman if it's for you. And if it's not, it's not. Guess what? Our time coming, bro, anyway. So,
Yeah, our time definitely
yeah,
coming.
it don't matter. Because it's like, if you don't, if the Most High don't give you no low-level woman now, in the kingdom, bro, you're going to have the best of the best.
Start off.
As good as it gets.
Did they say, brother, the time is short? No. You can go right, 7 to 9, 7 to 7. Like he kind of goes into it. See, but the fraud be not the other, except the wife has not power over her own body. Why would they, that you, even as I am myself, that every man have his proper gift of God? I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide ever as I. I mean, because remember, he was talking about how he not dealing with
He said, thou art loose with a wife, not a wife.
Yeah, like bro, if you don't have a wife, sometimes it's okay to just not deal with it. Sometimes, especially in this society, mind you, but if you read up,
Society tell you,
yeah, but
go in the back cave, don't worry about
but also, but if
money
you read
up.
number 6, it says every man, because it says every man, God gave the gift to every man, according to man. That's talking about some men are going to have multiple women, some men are only going to have one. Some men might not have none.
Yeah.
Every man is own proclivity.
And it
his
depends
own
on that
gift.
brother's spirit, bro.
It all depends on that spirit of so that's why I told you 1 Corinthians 7 and 9. I was actually reading that earlier. That's why it popped in my head. But yeah, brother, sometimes, bro, just don't. Now, brothers like myself, I ain't gonna be able to survive. Personally.
Yeah, but also when it comes to
But
Paul,
you gotta understand,
if you have a goal in mind,
Right.
it's better to not do that.
Some brothers have to
Hold on.
work. Some men have to work to get by.
Right.
Some men it comes naturally.
It's natural.
Literally,
So to the men it comes
I got you
naturally,
right
it's
here.
kind of
I
like
got you right here,
you
bro.
don't have to work for it. It's kind of just like,
Yeah.
I deal
I
with
get
it.
it.
I get it when I
got
get
you
it.
right here. 1 Corinthians
I'm not
7,
really impressed.
7 to 6. But I speak with this permission and not of commandment. So he's saying, I want to make this very clear. He's speaking as an oracle of the Most High, but he's saying, no, this is not law. I'm just letting you know what I would do.
Big fella, what's up, big dog? How you doing, brother?
But this is what I would do, right? Then he says, for I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of God. Meaning, every man is going to do it a little differently. Some men can handle women and not have to deal with drama.
Yep.
Some men get women easy. Some men gotta work hard.
Some
And
men are simps.
and
The Most
some
High
men-
know some of you. Unless I'm just being honest. The Most High know that some of you brothers will be a simp if you get a woman.
Right.
So he not gonna give you a woman
Yeah,
because
break it down.
he know. I can think of a couple brothers off the top of my head that don't deal with women, but I know just based off their character, if they had a woman, they'd be a little simps. Yep. It's not to put the brothers down enough. It's just reality. The brothers haven't cultivated into anything yet.
Because the glory of a man is what? A woman. Biblically speaking, the glory of a man is a woman. And what's crazy is that in the scripture it says the glory of a woman is her hair. It says the same thing. All you women care about your hair more than y'all care about your men. Y'all ready to jump shit, destroy their whole family, go get their hair done. I'm not happy. Let me go get my hair done and become a thought for the summer.
That's another a thing that's among our women. Is their hair will be done, but their daughter's hair will be a mess. And my shorty makes sure my shorty will have her shit in a bun and ponytail, but my daughter hair is gonna be done. That's a real woman. Like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure my kids look good before I look good.
And that's why a man will buy a fancy car with no crib, so that way he can bring in more
Women. Yep. Because the first thing that shorty gonna see is your
car, so he
More
can
likely
get
than
women.
not.
That's how it goes.
Cause she not gonna come to the crib. No, you gotta go pick her up, go on a date. First thing she gonna see your car. This nigga got this little old Nissan Altima or this 2012 Honda Accord. I mean, it's clean, but it's just a little old Honda Accord. Not knowing that the dude, not knowing that he got a little penthouse joint in the center city. He like, I don't need that. I don't need that.
I had a 94 Honda Civic.
I hated that.
Yo, good times, bro.
It was good times, but I never drove in that joint. Like maybe twice. Like I'm out. Nah, cool, bro. That's because he also had the fishbowl. They could tint the windows or something. But that's another story, right? So, like I said, this is not on get on our Women Day, but we also got to understand correction is across the board. We correct men more than we correct women. We talk about the men of the Lord. We talk about those in His truth. We talk about these young niggas out here that don't have no proof, sagging their pants, doing all types of criminal acts, ready to kill their own people, not trying to elevate. We cut on our men all the time. But guess what? It's your turn. And mind you, this is fair warning because I'm gonna say it again. Jacob's trouble are gonna be a lot of women dying. That's why it says, get it? Seven women from clean. That's why it says this in the scriptures.
It's Isaiah 4. Oh, yeah. It's Isaiah 4 and 1.
Yeah.
It says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Now, mind you, look up the word reproach.
I got that.
All right. So, mind you, when it says 7 women would take hold of one man, it's not necessarily meaning just 7 women. It could be 1,000 women. It could be 500 women. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it might only be one woman. Because a lot of the men that they're talking about are men of the Lord. Those who actually have a hedge of protection around them. Those who fear, that who abide in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai and run to it because it's a strong tower. Those men are going to be protected. And as all the women are dying and all these people are looking around, they're going to notice that there's going to be certain women walking around and they're going to have their hair done still. They're going to have cleaner clothes. I'm like, girl, where you coming from? Oh, I'm with the brother Samak over there. Samak? Yeah, you know he a man of the Lord. We protect it.
Salaki, it goes into that. That's what it's going into.
I know.
Disapproval, or like when back in the day when a woman didn't have a child, she would look down on like, you ain't got no kids. Like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly.
So if you don't got no husband in this case scenario, or you're not pretty much the possession of a man of the Lord. It's a
It's like you undesirable. Like,
Undesirable.
you ain't got no
and mind you not with a man of the Lord. Oh, he must not like you because mind you, men are going to be very, very, very selective in that day.
Yeah.
The same way how women have so much of a selection now, that's why they're so delusional, thinking that they're the most beautiful thing on the planet, thinking that they can't be body shamed is because they're used to men just, hey, me. And that day is going to flip. And then men of the Lord are going to be the most hot commodity on the planet because it's the only way to be safe. That's why it literally says that let us be called by your name. I want to be owned by you. So then it will take away my reproach. And guess what? I'm going to cook for myself. I'm going to clean for myself. I'm going to dress myself. I'm going to do everything myself. I just need you to make sure I'm under that hedge of protection.
Here goes some synonyms. Criticism, roasting. Oh, shit. Being roasted on. You know what I mean? Basically, same thing.
Good catch.
Admonishment, scolding, lecture. That's pretty. Oh, disapproval.
Disapproval. Now, mind you, we're talking about the disapproval of of the women of our nation right now. So all the things that we're talking about, right, that we disapprove of, what the Lord disapproves of, right? Those are the things that these women are going to be trying to run away from. Right now, they're in that liberal movement where they don't care. They feel like they could do whatever they want, sleep with whoever they want, act however they want, dress however they want, whatever. They think they're literally above reproach. Literally above reproach. But guess what? In that day, they're going to go, oh, snap. All the things that I've been doing is destroying me, and it's going to get me destroyed like all the other women and predecessors that I was looking up to. Then they're going to realize, oh, snap. Girl, why you dressed like that? Why you not hungry? I ain't eaten 4 days. Yeah, I'm with brother Samat. Oh my goodness, can I come with you? I don't know. He might not approve of you. Next you know it,
he ain't gonna approve of you. How you know? Because I know
how he is.
Him.
He not gonna approve of you. And then the women that are already called by our name are gonna be sitting there sifting for us.
Well, what do I gotta do to?
What do I gotta do?
That ain't my place.
What do I gotta do to be part of this? Hey, sweetheart, trust me. The way you dress, the hair, you got the leprous lace front. Leprous lace front. He don't like black women with blonde hair. I'm gonna tell you this right now. He ain't gonna accept you. All right, well, can you just take me over before you even get to the door? His spirit gonna know. No, I'm good. But the death toll for women is going to be astronomical. Yeah, men are going to die too, because at least in the scripture, it says that men will desire to see another man, right? And what? He will basically not be able to see one.
The men that are going to be dying are going to be the wicked men.
Are the wicked men?
And all the men most of the men that's going to be left, the women are really going to come in contact with, are either going to be the predators.
Yep.
Or it's going to be the men of the Lord.
Yep. So those those spirits created for vengeance, the predators, or the spirits created for righteousness, which is the men of the Lord. Literally, that's all it's going to be at that time. So either you're going to be preyed upon, or you're going to be safe under one of them. Yep. That's the truth of it. Yeah. So all of this liberal, I could do what I want, you can't tell me nothing, okay, live deliciously. Remember this. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. And who's the number one going down to Egypt for help? With the government subsidies, child support, Section 8, and all these other things, are women. So when that reproach and that judgment come, don't turn and try to do a 180 and be like, can I come? We're gonna look at you like,
especially if you, the Lord will have you run into a man that you dissed in the world.
Oh, he gonna remember that.
He remember you. He's gonna be like, nah.
You know, you see that on a small level with those go-digger pranks. You walk off, dissing, and they see his car and want what the
And then he like,
he like, no, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, you see the newest one? Bro, Bull was in an all-white Lambo. He outside his car. He cracked on the shorty. She said, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay." He said, "Yo, well, my name is London. What's your name?" She was like, Devil. He said, "Oh, I don't want none of that smoke." He got in his car. He got in the Lambo. She come around in the car with a nice little ass, trying to turn around. He said, "Yo, I don't want that kind of smoke. You just told me your name is Devil." He said, "I was just playing, but maybe it's a good thing." And then she tries to turn around and show her ass again. He speeds off.
Yeah.
He like, "Nah, I don't even want that energy on."
Let me bring this out. Isaiah 32:2.
Everybody's already
32 and 2.
resume these.
All right, Isaiah 32 and 2. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place.
Hold that thought. Now, it says a man shall be a hiding place from the wind. Now, mind you, get the scripture. It says the angels holding back the four winds of destruction. We're going to show you exactly. We're going to show you exactly. Yes, that's flames. Flames.
It's Revelation 7:1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, and to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
So mind you, the servants in this future prophecy that the brother's reading are sealed already, because the Lord is now allowing what the 4 winds of destruction to what? Consume the earth. Now go ahead.
Isaiah 32 and 2.
You good, bro.
Isaiah 32 and 2. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind,
From the destruction,
and a covert from the tempest,
and the tempest means fire.
as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. That's on that.
Yeah, so look, a man is going to literally be the foundation of safety. And if you don't have one with you or covering you, you're guaranteed to do what? Be ravished or die. Simple. And this is verbatim in the Bible. I'm not making it up. It's the Lord's words. But rise up, you women that are at ease. Especially we're talking about your so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American women that can't take correction, that don't want to hear anything come out of a man's mouth because you think that you're better, you think that you're superior, when you are the weaker vessel. The Lord created you this way to be a certain way, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. And guess what? The Lord says they shall be trodden down like the mire in the street. Right? Right? You women that are at ease, that don't want to take correction, when Jacob's trouble is coming, trust me when I tell you this. It says the slain of the Lord shall be many. And most of the people who are going to be dying at that time is going to be what? Women. Why do you already outnumber us? Who rules this earth with the devil? Women.
If I may, women got to understand that they're so spoiled in a society with 911 and other men, they forgot that men is the one that stopped men from doing what they do.
Exactly.
So what's going on is when all this chaos goes out there, and it's not going to be no consequence for a man to come after you, what you going to do in a situation?
There's no checks and balances.
Yeah.
Because women call men to protect themselves from men.
Right, exactly.
You don't call the cops for a woman to come up. When a person calls the cops, you're expecting a man to come strong enough to handle or subdue the situation that's happening. That's what you want.
And if they not
So
coming,
what happens when 911 no longer works? And then there's no other men coming to say, and there's no other men. And there's no other men here to save you. Mind you, what is the number one thing a woman wants? They said, I want to be able to turn my brain off and do nothing. I want to be treated like royalty and do nothing. Well, guess what? That means you're a weak vessel. Because a man, from the inception of his birth, is taught you must rise and be the king you are to protect your family. You are the first line of defense. You must die before your women and children. And if you cannot do that, you are not a man. That's what we're taught, right? So guess what?
But I definitely am an advocate for if you're a woman, learn how to be circumspect as well. Learn how to peep signs and symptoms.
But a
Well,
righteous,
you can be that already.
Because you could be a. That's how you also could be a support to your man. Oh, babe, hold up, babe. Look at this little. Oh shit, baby.
But a righteous woman will have your back like that,
Yep.
right?
Natural,
A
yep.
wicked woman gonna want to turn her brain off.
Yep.
What woman wants to turn her brain off? What the fuck? What make that make sense? How are we a team? If you want to say we're a team, we're not a team then. If I'm doing everything, sit behind me, not beside me, and shut up and let me ride this shit.
Most women actually in that situation actually have the natural gift to be like, babe, it don't feel right around here. Listen to us. Most women got a spider senses of
They have a very
And they use it the wrong way.
But they have a strong intuition, but use it the wrong way.
Wrong way.
They have a
Correct.
strong. That's why they say women's intuition. You got women's intuition. You can never tell when your man upset.
Right. They always think.
got
I think my man cheating on me. Let me go and do an investigation and think instead of thinking like, damn, I've been noticing he's been a little distant lately. He's been a little down. Instead of using intuition to think, let me see what's wrong with him.
Because they
think, oh, he probably cheating
They prioritize their happiness
over yours.
over the family and yours.
Family, yep.
Whereas though we are taught to prioritize
The
our family
over our own.
But guess what?
Yep.
I'm gonna say this right now to all you men because we're about to close up. You cannot be good unto those who you're supposed to cover if you're not good unto yourself. So you need to prioritize your happiness and your well-being so you can pour that out on the people around you. Because what is a man that gives up on himself just to prop everybody else up?
Let's look at a battery. Let's look at a battery charger, right? You know how they got those portable chargers that you can plug and charge your phone with? You can't charge. You're not gonna be able to charge people's devices. Let's say I got a battery pack and it's only on 20%, and every brother need a charge. I can't give y'all all a good charge because my battery only on 20%.
Yep.
But if I charge my battery to 100 every day,
Everybody can touch
and
the battery pack.
I prioritize my shit on 100. I can say, yo, you need a charge out? You got it.
Got you.
You got it. You got it. So
So all that-
always make sure you pour into yourself, man. You gotta have enough you for you, bro.
What they say? What's the one brother? The one brother would be like, you know how they be like, happy wife, happy life? He said, no. He said,
He said, a happy man is God's plan.
a happy man is God's plan.
Yo, that's golden. That's
A happy man is God's plan.
He said, hey man, make sure your cup is overflowing, you dig?
Yeah.
So that you can pour out accordingly.
So you can pour accordingly.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
I'm doing good, like perfect example, my daughter calls me at any given moment, Dad, I need money for this. Dad, can you send me this? Because I got to get this done. Dad, I need want my hair done. Da-da-da. Guess what? Because I pour so much into myself, all right, baby, I got you. Yeah, man, cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's nothing. Why? Because I already took the measures. And mind you, I come from a great father. I come from a great father that taught us this discipline, you know. Because my father, I'm going to keep it real. My father got 6 kids.
When they first came out.
7 kids. My father got 7 kids, right? And he made sure, to the best of his ability, to keep all of us close. We all know each other. You know what I'm saying? And he also instilled principles and laws into us, where he used to tell us family first. I remember my pop used to do stuff like this. Now, mind you, girls would be like, oh my God, he got 7 kids. How many different baby mamas? But guess what? Did my father ever have to ask any of these women for help? No. My dad never did.
Man was always at work.
My dad was always at work.
One thing about Pop too is like he might bullshit for like little small. Yo, I ain't got no bread, man. But if you really in the
Need it?
jam,
He's
my
going-
pop, you can
my
say,
pop
yo,
will
dad,
bail-
yo, I'm in the jam, yo. I need to get bailed out of prison.
My pop,
What?
yo, and I gotta be
How
real.
much is it? 10 grand?
My pop has always been there. Whether we like it or not, we can sit here and say, well, he didn't spend enough time with us. He ain't spend enough time with all of us. You wanna know why? Because he was always at work. Why? Because he had to make himself better to be able to be quick. Now, you call my dad right now, Pop, I'm in a jam. I need this done. Da-da. My pop, all right, young boy, so we do. I send you $3 grand. I'm gonna send you $3 grand tomorrow, and then next week I'm gonna send you another $3 grand. You can be good. Already bailed you out. But how he wouldn't have been able to have those means to do any of that if he didn't
He
focus
was
on what?
always around.
If he was always around with us or all his 7 kids, he had to do what? He had to build himself up. And now as a man, I can see what my father went through. And guess what? He doesn't get enough credit. All his baby moms, I guarantee you, they probably talk shit behind his back. But let's be realistic. I remember my dad doing shit like this. Oh, y'all drop my kids off. We all sleep on the floor, just all cuddled up together. Like, man, I knew all my brothers and sisters growing up, whether they had different moms or not. That's a good man. However, he had all the kids. That's not what I'm harping on. I come from a great father, and he's worthy to be honored, man. That's why Scripture says, "Honor thy mother and father, that your days be prolonged upon the earth." Simple as that. You know. And most people don't understand. I'm gonna make this very clear. Men are the ones who carry life. We plant our seed into soil that is dead and won't have life until something's planted. That's the truth. You incubate for 9 months. I've been dealing with it since the inception of my sperm. Without a man, you have no life.
And they'll spin that bullshit.
They'll try to spin that.
Because
I'm like,
they try to make it seem like they're the priority, but men never try to prioritize. Listen, it's a 50-50 ordeal.
It is a 50-50 ordeal.
It takes both two to tango, bro.
Not anymore. I can take my sperm, put it in, freeze it now, and then guess what? They'll put my sperm in the test tube and grow that motherfucker. That's science today.
You can't do that with an egg.
You can't do that with an egg. You need to what? You need that gamete, that first cell that already has blood vessels and life already in it. Simple as that, man. All right, let me get a woo.
That's Romans 9:21.
My man.
It says, have not the power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and unto another dishonor. What if Yahweh were willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. Vessels of mercy are the vessels of honor
And the vessels of dishonor. Now, mind you, of the same potter, of the same clay. Now, what did that go back into? Jacob and Esau. Make that very simple. They came from the same womb, and the Lord said, 2 different manners of people and 2 different nations shall be separated from your womb. Wasn't it the same what? Didn't they come out the same man? Yeah. Isaac. Right? Weren't they shot out of Isaac? Weren't they grown in the womb of what? One woman? But a vessel of honor and a vessel of dishonor. Right? With great power comes great responsibility. That's biblical, but they turned it into a freaking Spider-Man phrase, all right? So Lord willing, this was edifying. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Bahawah, Dash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, and shalom to the elect.